Young World. So some information has come out that has Joker spooked. It didn't just come out. Actually, it came out back in July, but people were just starting to notice it, or just read it for the first time, or whatever the case may be. But Jokers are panicking. You know what I'm saying? And I got to sit here and say that to me, it looks very, very weird myself, if I may add in to object. It's called the Operational Considerations for Humanitarian Settings. I mean, that's not what it's called. That's this article, but it's called the Shielding Approach. So, what is the Shielding Approach from the CDC? I ain't gonna read it all. I'm gonna just read you some stuff to make you look into it if you want to look at it yourself. The Shielding Approach aims to reduce number of severe COVID-19 cases by limiting contact between individuals at high risk of developing severe disease, high risk, and the general population, low risk. High-risk individuals will be temporarily relocated to safe or green zones established at the household, neighborhood, camp, sector, or community level, depending on the context and setting. They will have minimal contact with family members and other low-risk residents. Current evidence indicates that older adults and people of any age who have serious underlying medical conditions are higher risk. And I'm not going to read all that. I'm just going to go down here real quick to show you this shit down here looks a little fucking creepy. A summary of the shielding approach described by Favors is shown in Table 1. See guidance for the prevention of COVID-19 infections among high-risk individuals with low resources displaced in camp and camp-like settings. Let me read that again slow, that part. See guidance for the prevention of COVID-19 infections among high-risk individuals in low-resource, displaced, and camp-like settings. What the hell did that sound like to you? A camp-like goddamn motherfucking setting sounds like some Walmart fucking FEMA camp type shit. Let's look right here. It says Table 1 summary of the shielding approach. Level 1 level household HH level. A specific room area designated for high risk individuals who are physically isolated from other HH members. So movement interactions, low risk HH members should not enter the green zone. If entry is necessary, it should be done only by a healthy individual after washing their hands, using face coverings, such like that. That's in your house. Approximately 2 meters minimum movement, high risk individual. Go down to the next one, neighborhood level. A designated shelter group of or shelters max 5-10 households within a small camper area where high risk members are grouped together. Neighbors swap households to accommodate high risk individuals. Now they're talking about moving jokers around from house to house or designated spots if you're high risk. Movement interacts the same as above. Look at the next one. Level, camp, sector level. A group of shelters such as schools, community buildings within a camp sector max 50 high-risk individuals per single green zone where high-risk individuals are physically isolated together. That means taking a joker from his place of residence and putting him and relocating him into one of these designated zones. Movement interactions. One entry point is used for exchange of food, supplies, etc. A meeting area is used for residents and visitors to interact while practicing physical distancing 2 meters. No movement into or outside the greens. You can't go in or out the green zone at that point. So operational considerations. I ain't gonna go through all that, you know what I'm saying? But read this yourself. I put the link to this article. It came out in July, but like I said, for some reason, jokers just now are starting to pay attention to it, or maybe somebody just noticed it, whatever the case may be. Really, what this is saying is taking you out of your home. If that's the third level, you know what I'm saying? The household level, you're isolated in your house, people in there who are high risk, low risk, stay 2 meters apart, green zone. But then they talking about the neighborhood level, camp sector level, camp. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, already know that's a spooky word. Camp, FEMA camp. Like, so, man, look. And I've always said, man, like, when they put this casino out here years ago, I said when they put the casino, I was like, I could perfectly see how this casino is a real big building, you know what I'm saying? Right next to the old Bethlehem Steel buildings that are still there that are kind of in shambles. But I'm always leery of big, huge buildings just for the simple fact that it's a place where humans can be stored, a whole bunch of them together, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a lot of buildings that came up in this area. Where this area has become the I think top 6 in manufacturing job. What do they call them? Industrial park neighborhood places around this area. So it could be anywhere though. You know what I'm saying? But it just this stuff looks weird, man. Look real weird, real fucking spooky.